Draymond Green just came out today and made this controversial statement. He said, "I feel like over the years, European players has not caught the same flack of winning a championship as U.S. players." So I just want to go over this statement. I would say that I don't necessarily agree with what Draymond said for a few reasons. Let's just start with Jokic because that's the guy I believe he was referring to, and Luka Doncic. So, if we're being honest here, and we just have to be honest about this, did either of those two guys had a chance to win a championship in the last few years? I I would say no. I look at Jokic's situation after 2020, after the run the Nuggets made to get to the Western Conference Finals in the bubble. They haven't had a healthy team in close to 3 years. This might be the first time in 3 years, if everything goes right, that Jokic has a healthy team to contend for a title. Now, if the Nuggets don't win it all this year, and if they're healthy, if you have Jamal Murray and you have the rest of the cast is healthy, the supporting cast, and if Jokic is still unable to lead them to a title, then I would say he's worthy of all the criticism and heat that he faces. Absolutely. Yeah. I feel that you deserve criticism when you have the talent around you to win and you don't come through. So I do believe he should get it this year. And I would say I look at Luka Doncic's situation. Again, if we're being honest, 100% honest, look at Doncic's situation the last few years. There was no way the Mavericks were going to win a championship. They just didn't have the team to win it. I looked at those teams and I didn't see a team that could win a championship. I felt last year they grossly overachieved, that they were not even supposed to go to the Western Conference Finals. If the Suns didn't have a choke job, I think they would have been sent home early in the second round. So again, I don't really see how you can attack Luka or Jokic for their failures in the postseason and win a championship. They just never had the team. They just never had it to win it. When you have the team to win it, you deserve the criticism. Absolutely. But when you don't have the team, I don't believe in bashing guys for not winning. And I'm fair and consistent across the board. I apply this to American and foreign players. It's just stupid to criticize guys for not winning when they don't have the team to win. If it's clear that the other team has so much more talent, then it's a there's no point in criticizing that player for not leading his team to win. That's just being dumb. That just shows a lack of understanding about the game of basketball. You need talent to win. You need an even playing field, and only then you can just criticize. But I just also want to say that I think Draymond is thinking too much of a paranoia when it comes to this stuff, because I just look at Giannis prior to winning a championship in 2021. He got slammed by the media badly for failing in his postseason runs to win a championship. He had that embarrassing loss to Miami in the bubble, I believe, in 2020, where I think they lost in the first round or the second round. I can't remember, but it was embarrassing. They were expected to go all the way. He had won his second MVP that year, and I believe the Defensive Player of the Year. The year before, he got bashed for failing to defeat the Toronto Raptors in the conference finals and falling short in that series. He got bashed a lot those 2 years for his failures. I still remember in the summer of 2020 when the media kept on saying that Anthony Davis was better than him because he was able to win a championship with the Lakers, and Giannis is not some guy that you could win a title with. So he took a lot of smoke. But people don't remember it, I would say, because Giannis proved them wrong in 2021. And also, he didn't respond to it. He just kept on grinding. He didn't respond to the haters. He just kept doing his thing, and he was determined that eventually it would work for him. I think that's another thing a lot of these American players have to realize, is that these foreign players, they don't give a shit really about social media the same way American players do. They're not obsessed with hearing what the media says about them or going online to see what their haters say about them. They're just more focused on, I would say, just getting better and just winning games. They're not really obsessed with all that stuff, all that noise outside of that. That's why it seems that they're not getting the same flack as American players. I would say just it goes a large degree has to do with them not responding on social media. American players, they just can't keep their mouths shut. I see Kevin Durant getting emotional on social media. I've seen LeBron James get emotional. I've seen all these guys go back and forth with their haters. But can you name me a foreign player that's done that in the last 5 years? Hell, the last 10 years? I can't think of any. I really can't. And I'm thinking hard. I just feel like the American players just bring this shit on themselves. I look at a guy, for example, like Kawhi Leonard. I don't like Kawhi. I don't like the stuff he does with his bullshit load management. I think he's cheating the game when he does stuff like that. I don't think he's honorable when it comes to these things. But he doesn't get bashed by the media that much for it because I tell you one thing Kawhi figured out a long time ago. Like if you keep a low profile, you don't respond on social media or you don't have a social media account and you're not really putting yourself out there much, people tend to forget about you. Even when you do bad things, they forget about you because you're very quiet and you're under the radar. And I think that's a skill people should learn in life in general, that there's just no point of going back and forth with your haters online. There's just no point of it. And hell, even outside of online spheres, you shouldn't be wasting your time with your haters. You just need to set up your boundaries, avoid them at all costs. If you can't avoid them at all costs and you see them in person all the time, then you got to stand up for yourself, obviously, but just avoid them, live a lifestyle underneath the radar and just focus on your goals. That's what I would tell anybody. I just feel these American players are just not cut out like that. I look at a guy like Tim Duncan also. Like I hear from these younger fans that Tim never got bashed by the media and that they've always been nice to him and they've called him the greatest power forward of all time, blah, 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 blah. But I always laugh at that because I'm in my late 30s, so I remember all of Tim Duncan's career arc. I remember the media always criticizing him. I remember when he won his first title, they said it was asterisk and he wasn't worthy of winning one. I remember when he won the second title, they said it was a fluke title. He got lucky. It was by accident. The Lakers were injured that year and all these other teams were hurt and he wasn't a legit champion again. And so, but he didn't respond to that stuff. Also, when he was trying to win his third championship, I remember when he was struggling in the finals, the narrative was prior to even the finals during the third title run that Duncan couldn't win without David Robinson. And he still didn't respond to them. He didn't say anything. He just kept on grinding his thing. By the time he won that third title, they had to shut up and eat crow, basically. But Tim always kept a low profile, unlike these other players. He didn't respond to that stuff back then. And that's why it seems like he was never criticized because you guys are just not paying attention. I just feel that's the thing. If you stay underneath the radar, eventually the criticism will go away because it's just hard for him to run with things if you're not responding or going back and forth with them. That's what a lot of fans and a lot of these American players don't realize. But they're not going to follow that advice because it's not in our culture to do so. I talk about just people listening to this and the players, they just can't help it because it's not just about playing basketball for them and just winning games. It's also about self-promotion, getting endorsements. So they had to keep putting themselves out in the media and the social media spheres. And this is a result of it. You're going to get a lot more attention and it's going to seem like you're getting unfairly criticized. But I feel that's part of the game. When you put yourself out there 24/7, you're opening yourself up to the criticism and you're opening yourself up to get more flack. But that's part of the game. That's part of the game. That's what I look at. You get the good out of social media, getting all these endorsements and all these other opportunities you normally wouldn't get. But the bad is you got to deal with the criticism. So you just had to accept it. So I just think this was a dumb take by Draymond. Just there's no thought about it behind it. But then again, he's a very dumb guy. So I'm not shocked. That's all I had to say about it.